everyone, and welcome back to Adventures in Nodeland. I am back streaming today, and hopefully this fixed all the Twitch issue that we had, and now we are having a much smoother stream. Okay, so yeah, I know I dropped a little bit resolution, and everything is now perfectly fine. Okay, so now we know what was that setting. Perfect. Very happy. Amazing. Yeah, if I try to stream at a higher quality and I don't have the, I think I'm not sure if I don't have the CPU power or the bandwidth to do it. Anyway, we are here today to talk about MPM and what is currently being discussed by the Nodejs SDSC and what's been asked to decide. Okay, and this is something that I don't know if you're watching Twitter. A few people have been poking around the bear, essentially. So I just want to explain why we are here, why what's happening, and what tools are we talking about. Because mostly I want your opinion. So please, in case you don't know, let me know. In case you have an opinion of something, of A or B or any choice, essentially, you let me know. Okay, I will be very happy to talk with you about this. So and so that's it. So let's see and let's try exactly what's going on. Okay, so let's start taking a look at this is probably not what I wanted to show. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So this is my window. Okay. So let's go and start talking about the issue in question. This was brought up by Yagith a few weeks back. Yagith typically come by this channel. So I'm going to nominate Yagith 3 times. Maybe Yagith shows up. I don't know. Does Yagith show up? Is he here? No, he's not here. But look, it might be him here. So okay, so the key issue is this issue here. Enable corepack by default. This was opened in November by a person called Hardfist from Beijing, and then it was picked up by Yagith, and it was picked up by Yagith and discussed more or less at length. We also have sorry, not this. Nodejs SDSC meeting. Okay, and yep, this one. Okay, and no, sorry. TSC meeting 2024. It was talked about the Nodejs TSC meeting that we did yesterday, very extensively actually. So and yeah, this one, okay. And here it is. So this is the TSC meeting that I'm referring to, and we talked more or less for 30 minutes about this. I was part for this conversation. And I was joined by quite a few people in the group. So this is actually, I think it's very important to talk about what enabling corepack and why it's so the question about corepack and so on. Okay, so all of these starts in a few years back. Okay, probably since the beginning of Node, to be honest. Other people started developing alternatives, package managers or alternative clients for the MPM registry. What it is and why? Well, the first is the first one of the pack. One of the first one of the pack was Yarn. Yarn was great. Apart that it implemented things differently than the golden standard, which is the MPM client itself. And it became extremely popular and so on. So pretty great. This was Yarn 1 was announced in, let's talk a little bit about Yarn. Yarn announcement. Let's take it out. Let's see when Yarn was 2016. Okay, in 2016, Yarn was released. Okay, and look at it, a new package manager for JavaScript. Wow. Okay, Yarn was released in 2016, and we ended up having Yarn as a competitor of npm on the client side, implementing even things slightly different with different behavior. Hey, hi, FootyTV, hi, welcome. And what happened was quite interesting from my point of view, because we also got PMPM. So when did PMPM did 1.0.0? Let's take a look. Okay, where is it? PMPM. PMPM announcement. Well, we can get it from npm. So we can get the PMPM release date from npm. Oh, PMPM existed first. Wow, I didn't know. It has done 1,000 versions. What? 7 years ago. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. 2016, more or less. Even, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, cool. So, this was actually quite interesting. The evolution of those clients was actually quite interesting because they focused, this kind of tooling focused on thank you, FootyTV, thank you very much. And so those clients will actually become quite used by the public. Okay, both Yarn and npm are widely used by people right now. So what is the issue? Well, the issue is that npm is both the name of the registry and the client, and it has no it has a golden standard. There's no public API essentially. It's a golden standard, npm itself, on how it should work. It's a reference implementation, and it's what it's supported by the team at GitHub. So this is the problem, right? So we have those clients had different features. So we had Yarn that did certain things. We had PMPM that did others. Then we had tools like Lerna that created the concept of the monorepo. Essentially, the monorepo was existing before, but it created the concept of interlinked dependencies and so on and so forth. And that concept was then picked up by Yarn and by PMPM, and then by npm itself as the latest, as the laggard. And to be honest, I don't think the one in npm still works well in any form or fashion. But this is maybe they fixed it. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to use a workspace scenario, you're probably using either Yarn or PMPM or maybe even Turbo at this point. So the problem that we have in the Node community is that there is an ecosystem of competing implementations, and Node.js has a winner built in. Okay. Now, I don't know if you're ever aware, but the Node.js project, literally, when I say it's built in, if you go into Node.js/node on GitHub and you open up your dApps, okay, you can see. Oops, sorry, this is need to be like that. Okay. You can see that we have literally npm as part of our in the tree. Okay, we have npm in the tree, so you can't do anything here. We have all the things. It's built in inside Node. Okay, and the problem is that this gives npm competitive advantage against the others, against Yarn and against PMPM because, well, it's built in, okay? Like if you install Node, you get an NPM version, okay? You know, it's actually very important. You install Node and you get an NPM version. So why and what we can do here? Well, so this is a competitive advantage, and it's an unfair advantage. Probably yes, it is. Okay. However, my point is Node.js becomes successful because npm solved a specific problem. It solved software usability. Okay. And to be honest, it's still not solved by anybody else at this point. It solved it at such a gigantic scale that it was, completely incredible. Okay, just to clarify, to show, because people maybe don't believe it. I really like to look at this website called modules count. I don't know if you have ever seen it. I think it's very useful to see. So this is modules count, and if we zoom in, now you can see that node npm node is the red one. Okay, now this is a massive growth trajectory. Currently, there are over more than 2.5 million modules being published on npm. Okay, none of the other communities and ecosystem has this growth pattern. Okay, literally. Okay, so even stuff that's been around since forever, like Java, nope, sorry, or PHP. Okay, nobody has solved the usability problem of software like npm and Node did. So because of how npm works, right? So it has solved the problem of running multiple versions of the same thing in the same process. Okay, so this is the problem, and npm solved this problem. It solved it on top with Node, with JavaScript, and that was a phenomenal combo that I don't think we should break. Okay, to be honest, like my point of view is the combo of npm plus Node. It's great, and that's what propelled us to the state that we are at in the JavaScript community. So that's the kind of situation we are in. So 3 years back from 3 years back, we this was debated a lot. Okay, and the solution was this was debated a lot because the maintainers of Yarn and PMPM felt that they npm had an unfair advantage, as everybody agrees on that, and that they were penalized. So we tried to find a solution to we're trying to find a solution that avoided, that allowed them to be to provide a more native experience. Okay, and therefore this library was built, was created. It's called Corepack. Okay, and what is Corepack? Corepack is essentially a jumper file. Okay, is a bridge that allows you to use Yarn, npm, and PMPM without the need to install them at all. It's pretty amazing. I love it. Okay, I really, really love it. Okay, so how does it work? How you can use Corepack? Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Corepack. Okay, so you have let's go switch to the terminal. So what you can do is you can call so I have Yarn. Nope, I have PMPM. Yes, I do. Okay, so if I enable Corepack, I can now use Yarn. How? Well, because Yarn is downloaded under the cover and automatically installed and run on my machine. Okay, that's the feature. That's Corepack. Okay, that's what Corepack does. Okay, you enable Corepack. It comes with Node. It's bundled in with Node, and if you have and when you use Yarn, or PMPM, it automatically install them and make them work on your machine. So it's great. It has a lot of other behaviors, a lot of other discussions, but the key feature here is this simplicity. Okay, and we can even do PMPM and okay, this is my version because I installed it with the bash script, but otherwise it will pick the one from Yarn. Okay, and if I do corepack disable, I go back and not having Yarn anymore. Okay, so this is corepack and is bundled with Node, and currently it is experimental. It's still an experiment. It's an experimental feature. It has some other good useful feature, which is to set it allows you to set a package manager field in to enable. Okay, so and yeah, that's it. Okay, pretty cool. I think it's pretty good tool to have. Now the key question that is discussed in this topic, okay, it's should Node.js enable corepack by default? Okay, now corepack allows all those tools to work automatically out of the box. It's great, and should we enable it by default? Okay, are you are reading this? Okay, are you currently using corepack? Now, what we can do, we could actually publish a tweet now. So, are you using AU Node.js user? Are you using? Do you use corepack to run PMPM or Yarn? And yes, no, what is corepack? And yay, and then we can run it for 5 days, and now you can see it, the result. Okay, so we can know that what's happening, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now I have a couple of interesting questions that I want to answer from the stream. So the first one, it's from Big Kahuna Kahunara. Hopefully that's correct. Okay. Hi, Jahud. So the first question is, what is the actual advantage? Who benefits suffer from having NPM announced as an official one? Can you clarify the benefit to NPM and the issue that PMPM Yarn have to due to this? Okay, so the advantage of NPM being so entrenched, it's so the first person that benefits from NPM being inside Node is you. Okay, the users. Why? Because when you install Node, you have your version of NPM running. Okay, and that version of NPM in your system, and that version is predictable. You install Node, and you know that that version of NPM is there. Now, this is important because you can talk to a friend and says, I'm running this on Node or on GitHub, and say, I'm running this on Node on Node 21. And by saying that, you are also saying that you are running on a specific version of NPM. With corepack, you lose that link. Okay, what version of the package manager that you're using, it's for you to decide. Now, there are facilities that you can use in Corepack, but it's another thing that you need to keep inside your head. Okay. Now, if you are a user of Yarn and PMPM, currently you still have to have that cognitive load. What version of Yarn and PMPM am I using in this project so that it works? Okay, so this is actually very important, and it's an advantage, but it's also an advantage for you. It's an advantage for NPM, okay, but it's also an advantage for you because when you are doing your things, we are doing your development. You can have a specific trust in what's packaged in a node release. Okay. It's also the golden standard, so you can say that it needs to work on NPM, and all the rest are on their own to some extent. Okay, this is the first problem. This is the first thing. Who suffers? Well, Yarn and PMPM suffer from this. Okay, and they are the main people pushing for Corepack essentially. And in fact, if you go inside like PMPM Corepack, if you go in the main PMPM docs, okay, you go in the installation page of PMPM, and you can look at using Corepack. Okay. Yeah. So it's great, okay, but it's a phenomenal feature, okay. You can also install Corepack separately. Wow. Okay. Wow. Anyway, the gist here is very simple. Okay, and it's something that we need to figure it out. Okay, so PMPM, mention it in the docs. Yarn, Corepack, mention it in the docs. Okay. And again, it's installation. You see, the installation for Yarn is literally Corepack enable. Okay, so it's critical for Node. Okay, the issues it's Yarn not being a first-class citizen is that people need to discover it, initialize it, create a new project, and so on and so forth. So it's very tricky. Okay. Now the so it boils down all to that unfair advantage that people have on people from Corepack. Sorry, people from Yarn, the maintainers of Yarn and PMPM. Suffer, and this is the major problem. So I don't know how this will end up. Okay, but this is the situation. Now, what is the TSC, the Node.js TSC going to talk about? Okay, and going to discuss. So the crux of the point of the discussion, it's should Node.js have should Node.js bundle npm? Okay, at all? Should and if not, just rely on Corepack, or should does Corepack have merit to exist inside Node even if you are never going to remove npm? Last but not least, should we just get rid of Corepack? Because we are never removing npm, so should Corepack exist inside Node? Shouldn't be its own tool later on. Okay, so this is also an important question. So literally, Or fourth, should we bundle Node? Okay. So yeah, I made a mistake here. Sorry, I made a mistake on my poll, so I need to fix the poll. And yep. So yes, nope. And yep, 5 days. Here we go. Okay. So, hello. So this is the situation of the topic. So, I keep making mistakes in this poll. So, okay. Anyway, so the problem here the four questions are really key to the discussion. So once you're doing when you need to make a decision here, the decision is going to be very tricky. And even last time we ended up having to do a vote on the TSC. Okay, so let's do a little bit of digging, and you can go to the Nodejs SDSC and say search corepack, and probably come down to a vote in 2020, maybe. 2021. Okay. And issues. Let's see issues. Oh, pull requests. Yep. Issues. Corepack. Yeah. Vote on integration of Yarn. I think this was 2021. And it's here it is. Those present agree we should call for a vote. So the question here is we should integrate Yarn. We should integrate Corepack, and this was the issue. Okay, and yeah, essentially. Now there is a twist here, okay, and this is the twist. NPM does not want to be run with Corepack, okay. NPM want to have nothing to do with Corepack. In fact, NPM as a very small team that keeps everything running, okay, and it's they don't want to do anything with this. They want to keep being bundled with Node, and that's it. Now, there's the twist, okay? Because one of our dependencies, as a Nodejs SDSC, one of our dependency, NPM, says, no, our preferred way is what we have done for the last 12 years. So please keep going. The other the other package manager says something different and really wants to be having at the spotlight. And then there is a few other TSC members that says that we should treat everybody fairly, so NPM should essentially well, how can I say? I can't say it too politely, but just anyway, they can't. They will need to suffer our decision, essentially. So now there is a few people that have joined that says Corepack makes my yarn run funny. I don't like this weird caching mechanism. Now, what caching mechanism are you talking about, Burntify? So And Bikahunara says it's more politics than anything. Yeah, it's a lot of politics, okay? It's actually a lot of politics, okay? And in fact, it's the fundamental reason. I really think that, like, the fundamental question here is what's best for the community. My point of view in all of this, it's I think we should call Corepack stable. Corepack is very useful for Yarn and PMPM, and even say Corepack enables it, and so on and so forth. Like, solidifying the status quo is perfectly solid and fine. I am also possibly in favor of enabling it by default if they fix certain bugs, and if we got the bug reports essentially to fix them. And that is important as well. And if we do fix those bugs, then we can go forward with Corepack enabled by default. Now, but we need to get those bugs though. So please, if you're using Corepack, if you tried and if you decided it was not for you, please let your voice heard, which is the right moment is now, okay? So this is the important part, okay? So please let us know, okay? Now, the important part here is, like, for me, and I will not want to remove NPM, okay, ever. I think it's too good of a thing to break this combo, and we should keep it going with NPM, bundled with Node, almost forever. I don't know. There is a few comments from Bronitify says, Corepacks make my year run funny. I don't like its weird caching behavior. And then we have Bronitify. When Corepack manages Yarn, it does not use Node modules. It is true. It caches the stuff in its own directory, which I don't think is pretty bad. Corepack has a mechanism that you can use to fix the version that you are using. So let's give it a try, okay? So let's follow the guide that Yarn says because of PMPM, maybe PMPM. I prefer PMPM. So let's go installation Corepack. Okay. So so what we can do is so if I do PMPM, sorry, let's remove everything here. Yarn lock. Okay. So let's try this. I'm doing Corepack enable PMPM init. Yep. Okay. And actually, yeah. And I need to do user. So sorry about this. I have my installed version of PMPM that I don't want to touch. So clear cd stream. Okay, let's start from scratch. So yarn init. Okay. Yep. Okay. So this is okay, Corepack. So there is a way, and this is not even clear how to do it. And this is my critique on the Corepack process. Because in Corepack, I could specify what version of a package manager. But the problem is I need to, like, this field is not populated for me. Like, I should be I don't know how to do it. Okay. Corepack pack. Okay. So if I do Corepack, use yarn and 1. Yay. Okay. And ls package JSON, cat package JSON. Yes. Now you can see after I've used Corepack, use yarn, whatever, I got a package manager field here. And now if if I join in this field, in this folder, I will automatically get the thing, okay? And I will get that version, even if, let's try that, okay? So let's say that I want to use yarn 1.18.0, okay? Okay, so, and this now is as the yarn 1.18. If I am in this folder, I can do yarn-v, and it's that. But if I go at the top, corepack enable, I can do yarn-v, and I get the latest one. Now, you see, if I use corepack, whenever I am in this folder, this field package manager is respected. And the hash is actually very important because it guarantees the univocity of the field. So it's not bad. It's pretty solid from my point of view of an implementation. Okay, so anyway, the discussion here is very simple. And it's should we keep bundling NPM or not? Okay. And in the end, I think we should probably enable corepack by default because it simplifies things for Yarn and PMPM users, if that's what they prefer, essentially. And look, if we ship more, if there are shipping more implementation, maybe tomorrow we can even support a corepack for installing Bun, I don't know, or installing CNPM or installing whatever. So I would keep the registry pretty open. Okay. Anyway, this is the gist of the story. This is important. Okay, if you enable corepack, okay, we have corepack enabled here. NPM is still my old NPM. Okay. Like NPM is the version that comes from my node, okay? So very important. Hi, Mohidrara Sheriff. Hi. So actually very important, okay? So look, let me know. It's this is more or less, you know, I really wanted to have this discussion with all of you and get a video. This will be published, okay? Hi. A very interesting point of view. No to roll or avoid. Remove npm from node bundle. If npm doesn't want to work with corepack, that's on them. Why do you think so? Why do you think it's you want to remove npm? Why? Okay. Hi, Lord Gies. Yeah. Thank you, Trout Soda. That's my point of view. I think keeping npm and enabling corepack makes sense. Okay. There is a question related to corepack. If you have time, from Joshua, there is a message. I would love to know if there is any latest start on the package distribution. I thought that FC was closed on 2023, but I don't remember finding where the reasoning. I have no clue what this is about. So let's put it out and let's talk. Let's see what this is about. Close package distribution. Add FC for new distribution capabilities. I don't know. We need to call Darcy. I'm not Darcy. Darcy closed this. This was not landed. Look, this is, to be honest, I've been saying we need this for, I don't know, not even, I said that we need this for 7 years now. So literally 7 years, 8 years. You know, I want a way to specify the sources of my package and the actual binaries of my package, and not this blob thing that we have right now. Okay, and look, yes, oh yeah, big time, yeah. This is, look, Josh, I have been saying this to Isaac Schluter back in the days when he was the CEO of NPM. Okay. And I always said, no, we don't need this. And then we are still there, okay? So I don't think this will be supported on the current team size of npm. Okay, I think they have bigger bugs, bigger fish to fry from my point of view. But my overall point is, yes, we need that. We need binaries, okay? Not just for the compiled ones, but also for the JavaScript ones, okay? I want to be able to have an unpublishable, notarized bundle, and that is matched in the notarization process, okay, with the source code of that bundle, so that if that bundle, the repository of that thing gets removed, I have access to the full source file as a maintainer. Okay, right now, there's not. There's a good point from not null or void. Basically, rather not have a single npm version global installed, it leads to less reproducible environment. This is a good argument, okay? I don't think you should. Okay, to be honest, I don't think you should have a single version. I typically use NVM to manage the node version for each project, and that as a version of npm set. So yeah, probably. Cool. I don't know. Did we settle this argument, or are there any other burning question on npm versus the others? Haha. Okay. Very good question. Oh, people don't realize that this is actually very important, okay? People don't realize that npm day-to-day operations is dealing with a torrent of spam these days. Actually, I think they do. More people should know. Like, it's operating the Redis is actually quite a lot of work, quite a costly operation, to be honest. It probably cost GitHub quite a few millions per year, which probably they recap or they don't recap. I have no clue how they can put that in their balance, but it's literally a cost, significant cost. Like, I don't know, my take here is this is probably 10 million a year just to keep that existing, but these become all things considered. But I don't know, probably Miles Barnes will know better how much it costs to run the registry. I'm very curious. But it's still a lot of money, okay? And how can we deal with that? It's a big question. So, yeah, it's tough, okay? Yeah, the good point from Brian. Google punted on Go registry and made Microsoft pay for it by just using GitHub. Yay! Yep. Oh yeah. So the key feature of npm is that it's a monopoly at this point. And registries tend to be a monopoly. Okay, it's a feature, they have value as more things are on them, and that reduces competition. Okay, it's the same thing of social network essentially. Yeah, and the design of npm. I don't know if how many of you are aware of the origin of npm and its design. So the npm was started as a single CouchDB application. So it was literally CouchDB. I don't know if CouchDB, you know CouchDB. CouchDB is one of the first NoSQL database. Essentially, they invented serverless in all intent and purposes. So with CouchDB, you could deploy a small JavaScript function that would run when a certain endpoint was called. And it could manipulate the data on the database itself. Now, if you look at it in this way, this is very much like Lambda plus Dynamo, Lambda plus S3, all of that was prototyped, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago in CouchDB. Now, NPM was started as a CouchDB app, very tiny, then became immense, okay? And that's the core API of NPM, okay? As of today. Now, it was migrated off CouchDB because it was impossible to scale at that point, and now it's a bunch of Node and Rust servers built on top of a Postgres, essentially, I think. But there is still the main replication factor. The main way you can replicate the NPM registry is by using the CouchDB protocol. Now, this is... What are you saying on this? So, the design of NPM was never made to scale at this level, okay? Otherwise, you could say, if you need to sit down and says, how do you design a registry system that should support millions of packages and billions of downloads? Okay, well, yeah, you will design it differently, I presume. Okay, so yeah, this is the starting point. So anyway, last words on the NPM versus Corepack thing. My point of view is NPM should keep my point of view is Node.js should keep bundling NPM, and we should also strive to enable Corepack by default in one of the upcoming releases. So that's my point of view, and I hope this will manifest as reality. Okay, I think a world where we do not have NPM in Node gives a worse experience to our end users, and a world where we remove Corepack is also worse for our end users. So I think we should strive for some balance here, and that could be a very good trade-off. Cool. There is a few more questions that are unrelated, so let's bring them up. There are a few questions from about a single executable and a single application executable. So I think work is being done. To be honest, we can figure it out. Okay. So the first question is anybody working on npm single executable binary for ESM? And I'm pretty sure somebody is. And I'm pretty sure somebody is. Yeah, it's top of the list of the features that we are planning to support. So yes, it's coming. Don't know when, but as usual, if you want to work on it, if you want to help, there's probably a lot of stuff that can be done here. So this is the first question, and look, you can watch it here. We have maintaining executable application support, and the first top feature is looking for a segment. Sorry, it's where is the feature? Which feature list? Running an embedded ESM file. However, that being said, you will still need to bundle your app. So from my point of view, it doesn't matter at all if it's ESM or not. You still need bundling. Okay, we are not going to be a bundler. So bundling will be left to you. So how do you do it? Well, you'd have to decide how you do your bundling. So from my point of view, this is not a big limitation. So you should probably okay? what we will do is we will support running an archive of multiple files. So, yay. Cool. After ESM. Now, the other the other question is there work being done to get single application executable binary size down? I don't think it's possible. I'm sorry, Trout Soda. I don't think it's possible to bring down the size of the node binary for various reasons, because there are a lot of things in there that are what compose Node. So how the single application executable application work is they take the binary of Node that you have, okay, that you already have on your system. You take your binary, then it adds some more memory to it. So it add more memory. And in that memory, in that files on disk, space on disk, it fits your code. So, and Brian comes, DevDapps getting their own node modules. I don't think it will ever do. And there is one more question coming in. My automated tweet about Undici came out. So my friend, this is, it's actually a funny benchmark that we have done. So I posted this tweet on here on my profile. Here you go. And here it is. Quite a few people have asked me what HTTP client I recommend for Node.js. And we have done and run some benchmark, and this is the discussion of where Undici fetch is here. We have Axios, we have node fetch, we have request, and we have http.request. And this is Undici.request. So this is where you see the point. Okay. At least I hope this makes clear what should I use. And you should see this. So is it. So the perf numbers. So we have Undici.request, request, node fetch, request, node fetch, Axios fetch, and got. Okay. Now the key fundamental question is: should we use fetch? Well, core fetch is getting work done every time, so the performance of this of fetch are improving at every node release. So I presume these will get better and better and better and better as Node evolves. Okay. I suspect it will never reach the stage of Undici.request, mostly because it needs to do a hell of a lot of things to be spec compatible. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to be possible, but if it happens, it will be because there's a massive there are almost no bottleneck, like very little bottlenecks in Undici fetch right now. All the bottlenecks are in Node Core in our what2g streams implementation. So basically, it's in order to improve the perf here, we will need to massively change those things, and yeah, essentially. So that's the discussion. So the reality here is if you want fast, you need to Undici. Yeah. Well, a few more questions here. Cool. Okay. So I hope I answered the question, and it's almost time for my daughter dinner, I presume. So I don't know. Hopefully that's good, and you got. We talked some hard stuff today, so I'm very happy. We did not do much coding. which is, to be honest, also good and also okay from time to time. This was more a chit chat discussion, but I actually liked it quite a lot. So I hope you did too. I don't know. Please click that follow button, whatever, and start helping out and so on and so forth. Anyway, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for watching the stream. And I think I will see you on Monday. So yes, I think I'll see you on Monday. So see you all on Monday. I hope you will join the stream. And yeah, hopefully we will keep getting our NPM in our node when we install Node. So finger crossed. Yay. And yep. And yeah, folks, thank you. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye.